Okay, awesome. Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Hi Rohan, how are you? I'm fine, great, thank you.
I'm doing well. Congratulations on yesterday. That
Thank
was
you,
really
thank you,
awesome to see.
thank you very
Um,
much.
so
Thank
has
you very
it
much.
like I know you've been on the film came out almost a year ago, so has it like really sunk in like the impact of this movie and the impact of this song, how popular it's become in such a short amount of time. So how are you sort of processing just sort of the impact?
Yeah, I was overwhelmed with the kind of speed the song has gained in and gaining popularity and becoming viral. And I'm very happy for the entire team who worked on this, getting a Golden Globe yesterday. And the song, uh, it was produced by lots of efforts by multiple people, the choreographer, the lyricist, myself on the tune, and the programmers, many of them. So finally, I made it to this stage where it's getting a global recognition now, and very very happy for that. Yeah, 30 days of man hours were spent on producing this song, apart from the shooting itself. Yeah.
Awesome. And no, you absolutely deserve it. And so like when you're first discussing RRR with Rajamouli, where did like the sort of concept of Naatu Naatu come from? And then like what was your sort of plan to like how to realize it?
Yeah, Naatu Naatu song was intended to be a song of celebration and a song of getting the spirits high, in order to be defensive in a party where Britishers are, discriminating the heroes and intimidating them by their hostility. So it ended up, sharing fun, lots of fun to the characters, other characters, to the entire crowd, as well as the viewers of the movie, like intended. So it served the purpose. That was the original intention behind creating Naatu Naatu song, to make everybody get into the celebrating mode.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool moment. And then so like the choreography in addition to your music really
Yeah, yeah,
elevates everything and it makes it like so much more intense to
yeah,
watch. So do you
yeah.
have like did you what was that sort of process like? Do you work specifically with the choreographers to kind of see what they were doing, or what was it like when you first saw what they were doing with the song?
Then I haven't collaborated with choreographer,
Mm,
but I knew pretty well what were the requirements. So I was coordinating with the director and choreographer beforehand, before the shooting, and I just they briefed me what are about the requirements for the choreographic steps and all. So once the song is done, they took it to the Ukraine for shooting, because most of the majority portion was shot in Ukraine for the movie RRR. So the song also happened there, the choreography, the shooting, the dance, everything. So I couldn't go to Ukraine to watch and monitor the process, because I was confident enough about their competence, and I was busy elsewhere. But at the end, when I watched the final cut of the song, I was very thrilled, and I was very happy, feeling that my song is finally is promoted into a very good level, and it's very really justified. Visuals wise.
yeah, no, it's incredible. And then since you and Rajmouli are very close and you worked together several times,
Yeah,
what is your
yeah,
sort of what's your working relationship with him? Like do you when you guys are talking, like is it very short? Like do you know exactly what he wants? Does he know what you're trying to do? Is it
yeah,
pretty easy?
yeah. The difference between working with other directors and Rajamouli is Rajamouli being my cousin. I mean, he's my brother.
Mhm.
12 years younger to me. So he has access to knock on my restroom door whenever he wants to, if an idea pops up in his mind. So he has the all access pass into my bedroom, into my toilet, everything. So he comes up with an idea and I respond quickly, and that way we save lots of time. There is no latency in the process of commuting or communicating. So that's the major advantage, being available 24/7. That's a physical advantage. And the other advantage is that the compatibility and wavelength, because we know each other since long. I'm 61 and he's 48. So the longest association in the family, and also in discussions about career, music, etc. That has established a very good compatibility between us. So I know what exactly he is looking for, or what is his taste. Though we may differ in many other, platforms. Like he's into sports. I'm very bad at. I'm very poor. I'm not least interested in the sports. So I don't know ABCs about sport, but he's very much into sports. So those are things like we differ a lot. We have diversity, but we have strong compatibility, which makes my job very easier when coming to composing songs or score for his movies.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm the same with my brother. And so it's so like
Yeah.
did you want to like the whole soundtrack is incredible. I love the Komarum Bimado song. And then so like was there a specific sequence in the movie when you started to write music for the film? Was there a specific sequence that you went with first, or was there a specific character you were going after first, or how did you just start composing music for this movie?
Yeah, I first I compose specific themes for the heroes. There are two heroes in the movie, both are superstars in our country.
Mm.
So having that in my mind, having their following and their image, and of course also their characterizations in the movie, having in my mind all these elements. So I have to come up with specific individual themes for both of them. Also, there is Ajay Devgan, who has a very key and important role to play in the movie. And all of these themes have to be, defined and composed beforehand. So I did that. And of course, once the movie is done, I watch the movie. I go by the scene by scene. I go by the emotions, what the story or the movie has to tell. So that's a constant process. Emoting myself to the emotions and the scenes in the movie and translate them into musical notes. And most of the time, Rajamouli sits by my side and he reacts to what I compose. And most of the time, he says he is fine. 10%, different opinions will be there. Then it is sought after a long discussions and arguments.
Gotcha. And then like the movie also covers a lot of different like genres. It's action, there's drama, romance, revenge. Was there any particular scene or sequence that you found to be difficult to compose the music for, or that you went through a bunch of different songs? I know the Naatu Naatu, when you were writing it, I think you had a multiple different songs you tried out first. So what was that? What was like the most difficult process of composing music for
Yeah,
this movie?
the Naatu Naatu was never a difficult task. But the most difficult task I had to, face and take is that the introduction of Ram Charan Tej. There's a police officer. When he tries to capture a particular person from the orders from his boss, his commander, so he jumps into a crowd of thousands of people he dares to, I mean, go among them, among the hostility and agitation and the revolution happening there. He tries to capture a single person, risking his own life, and he accomplishes the mission. So there are a lot of crowd noise, and there are thousands of people yelling out, shouting out loud. So what kind of music will be, I mean, showcased there? What kind of music can I present and display? It's very difficult. I mean, everywhere it is noise, completely is noise, chaos everywhere. So I try to come up with a theme like the commander's command itself ringing in his head, that goes like in a DJ kind of a loop. So I try to come up with a different theme. Rajamouli liked it initially, but he wanted the crowd noise to dominate at some place. So there was a lot of argument between me and the director. Finally, I had to compromise a bit, and he has to compromise a bit. And I am happy with the final outcome of that particular scene. That scene had been very challenging for me.
Gotcha. And then, like, you have these really huge characters, Beam and Raju, that are, and you also have played by Ram Charan and NTR, and then so like then you have also have Alia Bhatt and Ajay Devgan in the movie. It's like what when you were writing the themes for Beam and Raju, like what were the specific like sounds, and what was your sort of approach to creating these two like specific themes?
Yeah, I resorted to, I mean, lots of woodwinds and brass section while composing for Ram Charan's Ram theme. And for Bhim character, that is played by NTR, so I resorted to percussions, lots of tribal effects and all, and human voices. And Ajay Devgan, again, lots of, again, brass again, which normally indicate, which we use when trying to present patriotic feelings musically. These are the specifically these are the instruments, but every theme is backed with rich strings and all, because when we present something on silver screen, so it has there should be some the sounding should carry some body and depth and dynamics with every theme. So that's what I did.
Awesome. And then so like you are in this movie, you're working with NTR and Ramja, who are these humongous superstars. And a long time, I mean, I know you worked on Paheli with Shah Rukh Khan like years ago, but when you're writing for when you're composing music for these superstars, does your approach differ at all, or like you like these songs are getting like 200, 300 million views on YouTube and stuff like that now? So like they're instant success. So like, does your approach differ when you like, oh, Ram Charan's in this movie, Shah Rukh Khan's in this movie, or is it, do you just kind of approach it similarly, or do you like think like, I know their personality, so I have to compose more to their personality?
No, I don't go by personalities much. I just consider them. I don't ignore their personalities and image, but I mostly go by the character in the movie. What's the character is saying? What are the traits? What is the texture of the character? How does he behave? So those are the only things I consider, and I go by the story. I go by the characterizations. I rarely, I mean, take the artist's image into consideration. I go by the story always.
Gotcha. And so like how, from start to finish, you mentioned that Naatu Naatu took over like 30 hours to compose, like, so what from the entire film soundtrack, the entire film's score, like how long did that entire process take you?
Entire score took me about 3.5 months, say about 100 days to complete. And we had 6 songs. Each song, I mean, the entire process of producing a song, composing, recording, and getting the lyrics done, dubbing the voices, and adding live instruments and mixing them down. So this process took an average of 10 to 15 days, 10 days per song. That's again in 2 months. 3 months for the score. Totally about 6 months of work for me for this RRR movie. Roughly, I never calculated and yes, total, but I can say it took 6 months of man hours for me
So,
for the
and,
entire movie.
yeah, and I don't want to keep you too long, but like I just want to like what I know it's still early, but with Rajamouli and you being so close, like have you had what kind of discussions have you had about maybe doing a part 2 or even like your next project together? What are those conversations like?
Yeah, part 2. I mean, we never know. It can be there, but right now that's not the priority because Rajamouli has to do a movie with Mahesh Babu,
Mhm.
Another superstar.
Yeah, I know.
So he has got prior commitments with him and some production house. So that has to be addressed first. And if at all there is going to be any part 2 for RRR, we cannot deny the possibility, but never know. We never know.
Yeah,
There is every possibility. Yeah.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And congratulations on all the success. And I'll be rooting for
Thank
you.
you.
Hopefully, I'll see you hold that gold
Thank you
statue
very
next
much,
month.
Rohan. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much. Namaste.